The sacked Home Secretary has launched a scathing 1,329-word attack on Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, claiming someone needs to be honest. Suella Braverman has published a damning letter to Rishi Sunak accusing him of manifestly and repeatedly failing to deliver on key policies. The former Home Secretary's damning resignation letter is part of a major cabinet reshuffle which saw ex-PM Lord David Cameron appointed as Foreign Minister. Ms. Braverman's departure came after she sparked public outrage when she accused the Metropolitan Police chiefs of bias when handling the pro-Palestine protests in a column for The Times. Here is the letter in full. Dear Prime Minister, thank you for your phone call yesterday morning in which you asked me to leave government. While disappointing, this is for the best. It has been my privilege to serve as Home Secretary and deliver on what the British people have sent us to Westminster to do. I want to thank all of those civil servants, police, border force officers and security professionals with whom I have worked and whose dedication to public safety is exemplary. I am proud of what we achieved together, delivering on our manifesto pledge to recruit 20,000 new police officers and enacting new laws such as the Public Order Act 2023 and the National Security Act 2023. I also led a program on reform, on anti-social behavior, police dismissals and standards, reasonable lines of inquiry, grooming gangs, knife crime, non-crime hate incidents and rape and serious sexual offences. And I am proud of the strategic changes that I was delivering to prevent, contest, serious organised crime and fraud. I am sure that this work will continue with the new ministerial. As you know, I accepted your offer to serve as Home Secretary in October 2022 on certain conditions. Despite you having been rejected by a majority of party members during the summer leadership contest and thus having no personal mandate to be Prime Minister, I agreed to support you because of the firm assurances you gave me on key policy priorities. Those were, among 1. Reduce overall legal migration as set out in the 2019 manifesto through, inter alia, reforming the international students route and increasing salary thresholds on work visas. 2. Include specific, notwithstanding clauses, into new legislation to stop the boats, i.e. exclude the operation of the European Convention on Human Rights, Human Rights Act and other international law that had thus far obstructed progress on this issue. 3. Deliver the Northern Ireland Protocol and retain the EU law bills in their then existing form and timetable. I was clear from day one that if you did not wish to leave the ECHR, the way to securely and swiftly deliver our Rwanda partnership would be to block off the ECHR, the HRA and any other obligations which inhibit our ability to remove those with no right to be in the UK. Our deal expressly referenced, notwithstanding clauses, to that effect. Your rejection of this path was not merely a betrayal of our agreement, but a betrayal of your promise to the nation that you would do whatever it takes to stop the boat. At every stage of litigation I cautioned you and your team against assuming we would win. I repeatedly urged you to take legislative measures that would better secure us against the possibility of defeat. You ignored these arguments. You opted instead for wishful thinking as a comfort blanket to avoid having to make hard choices. This irresponsibility has wasted time and left the country in an impossible position. If we lose in the Supreme Court, an outcome that I have consistently argued we must be prepared for, you will have wasted a year and an Act of Parliament, only to arrive back at square one. Worse than this, your magical thinking, believing that you can will your way through this without upsetting polite opinion, has meant you have failed to prepare any sort of credible Plan B. I wrote to you on multiple occasions setting out what a credible Plan B would entail, and making clear that unless you pursue these proposals, in the event of defeat, there is no hope of flights this side of an election. I received no reply. I can only surmise that this is because you have no appetite for doing what is necessary, and therefore no real intention of fulfilling your pledge to the British people. If, on the other hand, we win in the Supreme Court, because of the compromises that you insisted on in the Illegal Migration Act, the government will struggle to deliver our Rwanda partnership in the way that the public expect. The act is far from secure against legal challenge. People will not be removed as swiftly as I originally proposed. The average claimant will be entitled to months of process, challenge, and appeal. Your insistence that Rule 39 indications are binding in international law, against the views of leading lawyers, as set out in the House of Lords, will leave us vulnerable to being thwarted yet again by the Strasbourg Court.